Are you stuck between the two, whether you should take insurance or private pay? I mean, it just depends, right? It depends on your goals. It depends on what you're trying to do. So when I started out, I didn't have any money, right? So I really couldn't wait on insurance to pay me. So I only could start out that one way, and that one way was private pay. Because with private pay, we're talking about direct upfront money, no middleman, don't have to wait. So I was getting payments upfront because when I started, I had to pay my caregiver still, whether I had money or not, and I didn't have any money to pay payroll. So I had to be strategic on how I started. So a lot of new agencies, I know that's probably a big question that you may have, like, okay, should I want to go the insurance route, or maybe I want to do the private pay route, or you just don't know which route you want to take. So my recommendation is anybody starting out brand new, private pay. It just makes sense. Don't you like cash, right? You like money in your pocket. You like somebody to write you a check, swipe a credit card, ACH debit. Okay, if you like that, then that's a great way to get jump started. Because if you think about it, on the other end, and you can make your decision on what you want to do. Some people like to just say, I'm gonna go the insurance route, but I'm just gonna tell you what happens on both ends. So private pay is just what it is. Private pay. You set your rates, they pay you that rate, and you determine whether you want the money up front. You determine whether you want to collect it at the end. But if you were like me, I was bootstrapping. I didn't have any money. So guess what I had to tell my clients? I needed the money up front. I need that paper up front, Miss Jones. Because this is just our policies. And this was our policies. But I knew that if Miss Jones didn't pay me, or she paid me too late, guess who's going to have the issue? Not Miss Jones. It was going to be me. Now it was going to be a different conversation. I'm going to be on Miss Jones' line like, hey, Miss Jones, I need you to pay that ASAP. Now I'm going to sound desperate because I was desperate. I needed the money. So how I kind of got myself from that to not look so desperate, like, I was a starting business with no money. I'm just like, hey, in our policies, this is just what we require. You do pay in advance. And a lot of the clients are going to be like, well, what happens if you don't provide services one of those days or something? And I explained to them, well, look, Miss Jones, this week, let's say something happens where the caregiver doesn't go for one day. Next week, what we'll do is we'll just prorate it. So if we charged you $500 this week, we'll charge you $450 next week. And once you explain it like that, then I've never really had a big problem. Yes, you're gonna get some people that's gonna be like, well, why should I pay up front? I'm like, listen, man, we're a company. We're not gonna take your money. I promise you that. You see me right here, and if we do, you can sue me, whatever you want to do, but I'm not gonna take your money. But I'm gonna need that bag up front because I gotta pay these caregivers ASAP. And if I don't pay these caregivers, I'm gonna have a bigger issue. Yeah, and you don't want them problems either. So that's how you kind of gotta determine which way you want to go. So now if you do want to go the insurance route, all right, you can do that, but just understand that insurance doesn't pay ASAP. You're not gonna get that money off the break. That money is gonna take time. And don't mess up the claim. If a claim isn't right when it's submitted, that's gonna postpone the money even longer. So you gotta start thinking that if you have some money put up right now and you want to go insurance route, oh, that's cool. You can do that because maybe you have the money and the capital to be able to pay the caregivers and stuff like that. Then that's cool if that's the route you want to take. But then you got to understand too, with insurance, they have low amounts that they pay per hour. So like, take for instance, like here in Maryland, the Medicaid is pays like now like $25.58. I mean, it's something like that. But anyways, $25.58, right? So it's not a whole lot depending on how much you're going to be paying your caregivers, opposed to being able to charge $37, $38, $39. Now that's a big gap. That's a good profit margin right there. So you got to look at that too. So which means for insurance, you'll have to have more clients to add up to make the revenue that you could make if you had the private pay client. So let's take one Medicaid client and they pay 20 hours a week or whatever. They paying $25.58, and then you take the one private pay client 20 hours a week, but you're charging $37 an hour. Now which one of those clients? And then not just that, you get the money up front with the private pay, and you get more. You gotta wait on your money, and you get less with the insurance. So I'm just saying, it's up to you what you want to do. It's your agency, but I just wanted to go over that so you understand it too. Insurance is cool. Insurance is like an add-on. So like for my agency, it's an add-on. If we do get some clients from there, that's cool. It's an add-on. I'm not really tripping on it. I'm not really focused on it. But if I got majority private pay and a couple little insurance clients come through, all right, I'm cool with that because I'm not desperate for the money. Well, of course I still want to get paid, but I'm saying I have money to be able to pay for these caregivers, and I'll be able to wait to receive the money when it does come. So private pay, insurance, I don't know. Drop some comments below. Let me know what you think. Would you do private pay, or would you go the insurance way, or would you just do both? Where would you start out, man? Drop some comments below. Let me know. If you got questions, drop the questions in the comments. I'll answer them. Hopefully this helped you, and I will see you when I see you. But you better better know this. Just to exist isn't living. Because if you just existing, you're not living. Holla back.